More than 8 million immigrants and permanent residents are currently living in Canada. But what if a sudden citizenship rule change in 2026 could put the future of millions at risk? Imagine working for years, paying taxes, building a life, and then discovering that new rules might delay or even block your path to becoming a Canadian citizen. It sounds unbelievable, but experts say the government is considering changes that could reshape how citizenship works for thousands of applicants. Across the country, many people are already asking a worrying question. Will the path to Canadian citizenship become harder overnight? New discussions around stricter checks, longer residency requirements, and deeper background verification have created uncertainty for immigrants who thought they were just one step away from securing their future. For some families, these changes could mean waiting years longer than expected. But here's the part many people don't know yet. Behind these changes are 10 powerful reasons that could completely transform Canada's citizenship system. And if you're living in Canada or planning to apply, understanding these reasons could make the difference between success and disappointment. Number 1. Stricter residency rules. One of the biggest reasons experts believe the Canada Citizenship rules may change in 2026 is the growing discussion around stricter residency requirements. Right now, permanent residents must spend a certain number of days physically inside Canada before they can apply for citizenship. But policymakers are debating whether this requirement should become even tougher. The goal, according to many officials, is to ensure that those who become citizens have a strong and real connection to the country. Over the past few years, Canada has welcomed hundreds of thousands of immigrants every year, which has helped support the economy and fill labor shortages. However, this rapid growth has also raised concerns about how quickly new residents can move from permanent residency to full citizenship. Some policymakers believe that spending more time living, working, and contributing inside Canada should be required before someone becomes a citizen. If new rules increase the number of required residency days, many applicants may suddenly find themselves needing extra months or even years before they qualify. For many immigrants, this could create unexpected challenges. Imagine planning your entire future around applying for citizenship next year, only to discover that the rules have changed and you now need to wait much longer. This is why immigration experts strongly recommend that people keep careful records of their travel history, work status, and physical presence in Canada. Even small mistakes in tracking your time outside the country could affect your eligibility if the rules become stricter. Staying informed and planning ahead could make a huge difference. If you are already close to qualifying, preparing your documents early may help you avoid problems if new citizenship requirements come into effect sooner than expected. We spend hours researching and creating these videos to keep you informed. If you found this helpful, drop a comment below and tell us where you're watching from. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your one click helps us keep bringing important updates like this. Number 2. Stronger background checks. Another major reason behind the possible Canada Citizenship Rule change in 2026 is the government's growing focus on stronger background verification. Authorities want to ensure that every person applying for citizenship fully meets the country's security, legal, and identity standards. While background checks have always been part of the process, experts believe these checks could become much more detailed in the coming years. In recent discussions, policymakers have suggested that citizenship applications may go through deeper security screening and document verification. This could include reviewing travel history, employment records, tax filings, and even digital identity verification. The goal is to make sure that applicants have followed all immigration rules and have maintained a clean legal record while living in Canada. From the government's perspective, these steps help protect the integrity and trust of Canadian citizenship. However, for many applicants, stricter background checks could also mean longer waiting times and additional paperwork. Even small mistakes in documents or missing information might delay the application process. For example, if travel records don't match the dates listed on an application, immigration officers may request further clarification before moving forward. This can add months to the process, which is already stressful for many families waiting for their citizenship approval. Because of this, immigration experts advise applicants to be extremely careful when preparing their applications. Keeping accurate records of employment, taxes, and travel history can help avoid unnecessary delays. Making sure that every document is complete and truthful is one of the most important steps anyone can take before applying for citizenship. As Canada continues to welcome immigrants from around the world, the government wants to balance openness with security. That's why stronger background verification may become one of the key changes shaping Canada's citizenship process in 2026. But if you found this information useful, tell us your thoughts in the comments. Do you think stricter background checks are fair or too harsh? And please subscribe to the channel, because a single click from you helps us keep bringing important updates like this. Number 3. Tougher language tests. Another reason experts believe there could be a major Canada Citizenship Rule change in 2026 is the possibility of tougher language requirements. Right now, many applicants must prove they can communicate in English or French, Canada's 2 official languages. This usually involves taking a language test that measures basic speaking, listening, reading, and writing skills. But some policymakers believe the current standard may not be strong enough for long-term integration. The government wants new citizens to fully participate in Canadian society. That means being able to communicate at work, understand important information, and connect with communities. Because of this, discussions have started around whether citizenship applicants should demonstrate higher levels of language proficiency than before. If these changes happen, applicants may need to score better on official language tests or provide stronger proof of their communication skills. For some immigrants, this could create additional challenges, especially for those who work long hours or who arrived in Canada later in life. Learning a new language while balancing work, family, and responsibilities is not always easy. However, language ability is often seen as one of the most important factors for career success, social connection, and long-term stability in Canada. The good news is that there are many ways applicants can prepare in advance. Community centers, language schools, and online programs offer courses designed specifically to help immigrants improve their English or French skills. Practicing daily conversations, watching local news, and interacting with neighbors can also make a big difference over time. If language requirements do become stricter, those who start preparing early will have a much better chance of meeting the new standards. Taking small steps today could help protect your future path toward Canadian citizenship. Now, we spend a lot of time researching these updates to keep you informed. Comment below and tell us which country you originally came from, and share your thoughts on these possible changes. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your one click supports the work we do to bring you important updates. Number 4. Longer processing delays. Another major concern surrounding the possible Canada Citizenship Rule changes in 2026 is the growing issue of longer processing times. Over the past few years, citizenship applications in Canada have already experienced delays due to rising immigration numbers and increased verification procedures. With more people applying every year, the system is under greater pressure than ever before. Canada welcomes hundreds of thousands of immigrants annually, and many of them eventually apply for citizenship. While this growth strengthens the economy and supports population expansion, it also means immigration offices must process a much larger number of applications. If the government introduces stricter rules, deeper background checks, and more document verification, the time it takes to approve citizenship could become even longer. For many applicants, waiting for citizenship is already a stressful journey. Families often plan their futures around this important milestone. They look forward to gaining the security, voting rights, and travel benefits that come with becoming a Canadian citizen. However, if application reviews take longer, some people could face months or even years of additional waiting before their applications are approved. Experts say the key to avoiding unnecessary delays is preparation and accuracy. Submitting complete documents, ensuring that residency records are correct, and responding quickly to government requests can help reduce the chances of long processing delays. Even small mistakes, like incorrect travel dates or missing paperwork, can slow down the process significantly. Because of these challenges, many immigration advisors encourage applicants to prepare their documents early and stay updated on policy changes. if new rules come into effect, those who are ready ahead of time may have a much smoother path towards citizenship, that we put a lot of effort into researching and creating these updates for you. Write in the comments where you are watching from, and if you plan to apply for Canadian citizenship. And please subscribe to the channel. Your single click helps us keep bringing important information like this. Number 5. Residency monitoring increase. Another reason experts believe there may be a major Canada Citizenship Rule change in 2026 is the growing focus on stronger monitoring of permanent residents. Canadian authorities want to make sure that people who hold permanent resident status are truly living in the country and maintaining real connections with Canada before applying for citizenship. Currently, permanent residents must meet certain residency obligations, which means they must spend a specific amount of time physically inside Canada within a given period. However, immigration officials have noticed that some individuals spend long periods outside the country while still keeping their permanent resident status. Because of this, the government is discussing ways to increase monitoring and verification of residency records. If these changes happen, immigration officers may start reviewing travel history more carefully when someone applies for citizenship. They could check passport stamps, airline travel records, employment history, and tax filings to confirm that applicants were actually living and contributing to the country. This would help ensure that citizenship is granted to individuals who have truly built their lives in Canada. For many immigrants, Canada is a place where they work hard, pay taxes, raise families, and invest in their future. The government wants citizenship to reflect a real commitment to the country, not just a legal status. Because of this, stronger residency monitoring could become one of the key elements of the 2026 citizenship policy discussions. Experts recommend that permanent residents keep clear and organized records of their time in Canada. Maintaining accurate travel logs, employment documentation, and tax filings can make the citizenship application process much smoother. Being prepared ahead of time could help applicants avoid complications if residency checks become stricter in the future. Do we spend a lot of time researching these updates to keep you informed? Drop a comment and tell us how many years you've been living in Canada. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your one click helps us continue bringing important updates like this. Number 6. Digital identity verification. Another important reason behind the possible Canada Citizenship Rule changes in 2026 is the government's growing focus on digital identity verification. Canada is rapidly modernizing its immigration system, moving many processes online to make applications faster and more efficient. While this digital transformation can improve convenience, it may also introduce new identity verification requirements for citizenship applicants. In recent years, immigration authorities have already started expanding online application systems. Applicants can now submit documents, track application progress, and communicate with officials through digital platforms. However, as the system becomes more advanced, the government may begin using stronger identity verification technologies, such as biometric data, facial recognition, and secure digital identity checks. The main goal behind these changes is to reduce fraud and ensure that every citizenship application is linked to the correct individual. Digital verification can help immigration officials confirm that documents are authentic and that applicants meet all eligibility requirements. This could make the system more secure and reliable, protecting the integrity of Canadian citizenship. However, these changes could also mean that applicants must be more careful when preparing their digital records. Uploading clear documents, ensuring personal information is accurate, and completing identity verification steps correctly will become even more important. Any errors in digital submissions may slow down the application process or trigger additional reviews. For many people, adapting to new digital systems may take some time. But understanding how these systems work and preparing documents in advance can help applicants avoid unnecessary delays. As Canada continues modernizing its immigration process, digital identity verification could become a key part of the citizenship journey in the years ahead that we spend hours researching and creating these updates just for you. Comment below and tell us if you think digital verification will make citizenship easier or harder. And please subscribe to the channel. Your single click helps support the effort behind these videos. Number 7. Immigration policy shift. Another powerful factor behind the possible Canada Citizenship Rule changes in 2026 is the broader shift in immigration policy. Canada's immigration system does not operate in isolation. Citizenship policies are closely connected to the country's overall immigration strategy, which is constantly adjusted to meet economic needs, population growth, and labor market demands. In recent years, Canada has significantly increased its immigration targets. The country aims to welcome hundreds of thousands of new immigrants every year to help address labor shortages and support long-term economic growth. While this strategy brings many benefits, it also creates challenges for infrastructure, housing availability, healthcare services, and job markets in certain regions. Because of this, policymakers often review citizenship rules to ensure the system remains balanced and sustainable. If immigration levels continue rising, the government may adjust citizenship requirements to manage how quickly permanent residents become citizens. These adjustments might include changes in eligibility timelines, application reviews, or residency expectations. The goal is not to stop immigration, but to ensure that the system remains stable and fair for both new arrivals and existing citizens. For immigrants planning their future in Canada, these policy shifts can have a significant impact. Many families plan their long-term goals around citizenship, including education opportunities, travel freedom, and voting rights. If immigration policies evolve, the pathway to citizenship may also change in ways that applicants need to understand. This is why staying informed about immigration announcements and government policy discussions is extremely important. Those who monitor policy updates and prepare early will be better positioned to adapt if new citizenship requirements are introduced in the coming years. We put a lot of effort into researching and explaining these changes for you. Tell us in the comments what you think about Canada's immigration policies. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your one click helps us keep bringing important updates like this. Number 8. Fraud prevention measures. Another major reason behind the possible Canada Citizenship Rule changes in 2026 is the government's effort to strengthen fraud prevention measures. Citizenship is one of the most valuable legal statuses a person can receive, and Canadian authorities want to ensure that every application is genuine and transparent. Because of this, the government has been increasing its focus on detecting and preventing fraudulent activities within the immigration and citizenship system. Over the past few years, immigration officials have discovered cases where individuals submitted false documents, fake employment records, or incorrect residency information in order to qualify for citizenship. These situations are rare, but even a small number of fraudulent cases can damage trust in the system. As a result, policymakers are considering stricter checks and verification procedures to ensure that every applicant meets the legal requirements honestly. If these new measures are introduced, citizenship applicants may face more detailed document verification, additional interviews, and stronger review processes. Immigration officers could carefully examine financial records, travel history, and employment documents to confirm that everything provided in the application is accurate. While this may increase processing time slightly, the main goal is to protect the integrity and fairness of the Canadian citizenship system. For genuine applicants, these measures should not be a major problem as long as all documents are truthful and complete. Experts recommend that applicants avoid using unauthorized immigration agents or unreliable consultants, as incorrect advice can lead to serious issues during the application process. Keeping clear and authentic records is the safest way to move forward. Ultimately, these fraud prevention efforts are meant to ensure that citizenship remains a trusted and respected status, awarded only to those who truly meet the requirements and have built a real life in Canada. We spend hours researching these important updates for you. Comment below and share your opinion. Should citizenship rules become stricter or remain the same? And please subscribe to the channel, because your single click helps support the work behind these videos. Number 9. Economic contribution focus. Another reason experts believe there could be changes in the Canada Citizenship Rules in 2026 is the growing discussion about economic contribution. Many policymakers believe that people who become citizens should demonstrate that they have contributed positively to the country's economy and society. While Canada already values skilled workers and entrepreneurs, future policy discussions may place even greater attention on how immigrants participate in the economic system. Canada relies heavily on immigration to support its workforce, fill job shortages, and strengthen economic growth. New immigrants bring valuable skills, education, and business ideas that help industries expand and communities grow. Because of this, some policymakers have suggested that citizenship pathways may increasingly highlight factors like employment stability, tax contributions, and community involvement. This does not mean that only high-income individuals will qualify for citizenship. Instead, the idea focuses on encouraging long-term participation in the Canadian economy. Working legally, paying taxes, and building a stable life in the country are all signs that a person is contributing to the nation's development. These factors may become more important when authorities review citizenship applications in the future. For immigrants planning their path to citizenship, maintaining a strong employment record and accurate tax filings can be very important. Keeping documents such as tax returns, work contracts, and employment records organized may help demonstrate a clear history of contribution to the country. Many experts also encourage immigrants to become active members of their communities. Volunteering, participating in local activities, and building connections within Canadian society can reflect a deeper commitment to the country. These actions may not always be official requirements, but they help show that applicants are fully invested in Canada's future. As immigration continues shaping the country's economy, the connection between citizenship and economic participation may become an important part of future policy discussions that we put a lot of time and effort into researching these updates for you. Tell us in the comments what kind of work you do in Canada and how long you've been there. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your one click helps us keep bringing you important information. Number 10. Population pressure rising. The final reason experts believe there could be Canada Citizenship Rule changes in 2026 is the increasing population pressure across the country. Over the past decade, Canada has experienced one of the fastest population growth rates among developed nations, largely driven by immigration. While this growth helps strengthen the economy and address labor shortages, it also places significant pressure on housing, infrastructure, healthcare services, and public resources. In many major Canadian cities, people are already facing rising housing costs, limited rental availability, and increasing demand for public services. Governments at both federal and provincial levels are trying to balance economic growth with the ability to provide adequate resources for everyone living in the country. Because of this, policymakers often review immigration and citizenship policies to ensure that population growth remains sustainable. If population pressures continue to increase, authorities may introduce adjustments to citizenship timelines, eligibility conditions, or application processes. The idea behind these discussions is not to discourage immigration, but to manage growth in a way that supports both newcomers and existing citizens. By carefully controlling how quickly people move through the immigration system towards citizenship, the government hopes to maintain stability in housing, employment opportunities, and social services. For immigrants planning their future in Canada, understanding these broader population trends is extremely important. Population growth influences many government decisions, including immigration targets and citizenship pathways. Those who stay informed and prepare early will be better positioned if new citizenship policies or timelines are introduced in the coming years. Ultimately, Canada remains one of the most welcoming countries for immigrants, but managing population growth responsibly will continue to shape how the citizenship system evolves in the future. We spend many hours researching these topics to bring you reliable updates. Comment below and tell us if you think Canada should slow down or continue increasing immigration. And please subscribe to the channel. Your one click helps support the effort behind these videos. The possible Canada Citizenship Rule changes in 2026 are creating a lot of discussion and concern among immigrants, permanent residents, and future applicants. For many people, becoming a Canadian citizen is more than just a legal step. It represents years of hard work, dedication, and the dream of building a secure future in one of the world's most stable and welcoming countries. That is why even small changes in citizenship policies can affect millions of people planning their long-term future in Canada. As we discussed in this video, there are several important reasons behind these potential changes. Factors like stricter residency rules, stronger background checks, tougher language requirements, longer processing times, and increased monitoring of residency are all being discussed as ways to protect the integrity of the citizenship system. At the same time, the government is also focusing on digital verification systems, immigration policy shifts, fraud prevention, economic participation, and growing population pressure. All of these elements play a role in shaping how Canada manages its immigration and citizenship pathways. However, it is important to remember that discussions about policy changes do not mean that citizenship will suddenly become impossible. Canada continues to rely on immigrants for economic growth, innovation, and cultural diversity. The country has built its global reputation as a place where people from around the world can work hard, contribute to society, and eventually become full members of the nation. For anyone planning to apply for citizenship, the best strategy is to stay informed, prepare documents carefully, and follow official immigration updates. Keeping accurate records of residency, employment, and language qualifications can make the application process much smoother. Being proactive today can help avoid unexpected problems tomorrow. Canada's immigration system will continue to evolve, but the opportunity to build a life there remains strong. Understanding these possible changes now can help you stay prepared and protect your future path toward Canadian citizenship.